Okay. Welcome everyone. Hi Deb, welcome. Lovely to be here with you today, beautiful one. I'm really excited to sit here and share this space with you today because I'm looking forward to us having this conversation and sharing into something that I think is such an important conversation to have for everyone, which is all around, the change that people are seeking in their lives. And the reason that I've asked you here to join me today for everyone to, be involved in this conversation is because you have really embodied that change in your life. Like you have gone from doing multiple various businesses to like in the offline space to coming into the online space. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that would be really asking the questions of, yes, but how do I do that? So I really wanted you to be on here to share your pearls of wisdom and some of the really practical steps to how that can be, because it's all well and good to say, yes, you can do that and you've just got to be with your values, but it's like how, what are the steps that I take? So today I wanted to really give everyone some great insight into some very practical steps they could take and that you've taken and that we have also, we've taken together in this collaboration, if you like, that we're involved in, and share some really key learnings and tools for change around that. So would you like to share a little bit about yourself and what led you to be here today, my darling?
Absolutely. Thank you for that beautiful, warm introduction. And I love this topic. It's one of my favorites. So let's dive in. So for those of you who don't know me, I've come from a traditional businesses. I've had three. I've had two in Hong Kong when I lived in Hong Kong and spent most of my time in China. And I had another one before that in Australia when I was living in Melbourne. And so I've come from an entrepreneurial background, always with this idea of helping and serving other people to make their lives better. And I'm now heavily involved in the online space. So I left the traditional business behind because I wanted that freedom to work from anywhere I wanted. And the online space was definitely calling me, and it really answers my prayers in that respect. So deep diving into this online business and this community, to be ignited and supported by like-minded people is so fabulous, because in the past, as I mentioned, as I was an entrepreneur with traditional businesses, I was that lone wolf, that soulpreneur that we often describe, doing it alone, figuring it out all alone. And there'd be so many times where I'd be having my head in my hands, like, oh my God, what am I doing? Can't it just be easier? I just need more support. And I wonder if, your listeners out there are feeling into that, what that really feels like. A lot of people know what it feels like to just be on your own, isolated, and it shouldn't ever be underestimated what it feels like to actually have someone take your hand or link arms with you and just take you step by step through so that you can see the path more clearly.
Yeah, absolutely, honey. I have had a similar journey myself insofar as I have been the lone wolf most of my life. And I made a very conscious decision myself that I didn't want to create any more that way. I didn't want to do business anymore that way. I really wanted to collaborate. So I was really calling that in a few years ago. And it's just so beautiful how it's unfolded and all the incredible people I've met along the way, the mentors, the people that have supported me along the way. And you've come into my life and we've linked arms and crossed paths and collaborating and co-creating as we go. And I really think that the landscape of how we do business is changing, and that we're moving into times that are unprecedented. This really hasn't occurred before in the way that collaboration takes place. And my question to you, darling, is what would you just say to someone who's watching right now and who is feeling really stuck, who wants to make that leap, who wants to make that change, but is uncertain about how to go from where they are to where they want to be?
It's a really great question. And I've definitely been there before. And I know a lot of people who are in that who were in that position, who have taken, made a decision and taken action, and their lives have changed. And that's the key, to make a decision and to take action, those two key steps. We are always presented with opportunities. In fact, if you open your eyes and open your hearts, there's opportunity all around us. Really just the magic, like glistening gold everywhere for us to look a little closer, to see, wonder what's in there, peer inside the box and just open it without signing up and committing and doing all that. Just simply a curiosity of what could be out there, something that you might not have thought about, might be just the thing that you want. And so for somebody who's on the sidelines, for somebody who's just been watching you, Mel, especially go from strength to strength in your leadership and creating exactly that life that you're really wanting, where you're leading people to make changes and being in the online space, for somebody who's been watching, I'd say tap Mel on the shoulder and really just see what Mel's talking about. Because there's, we've got a short amount of time here, but there's so much more behind this in terms of the structure and the support and the mentorship and the strategy and the model and the whole thing that we can't explain in a 10-minute interview, but is right there already working for people. It's right there, and it's that goal that's at your fingertips right now that's calling to you. And if you're on this live or watching the replay, then it's definitely, you're in the right place at the right time.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing that, Deb. That's what I really loved about what you shared, is that this is something that we are involved in that is actually working. Like, the social proof is there. We're seeing how this strategy that we have linked ourselves into is actually really changing lives in a really drastic way, and giving people an opportunity to free themselves from jobs or situations that just no longer really light them up, and being able to retire partners and being able to really create the lives that they really want to have, whatever that looks like for them. So we've got this amazing community. We've got this private Facebook group that we share a lot more within that. So anyone can reach out to me after this this call, and I can share more with you. And just before we wrap up, darling, one thing I wanted to ask you is, like, what is someone investing in when they say yes to actually being curious enough to explore this opportunity we are talking about? What is it they're investing in?
They're absolutely investing in themselves. The first place to invest in yourself, when you fill your cup up, when you pull the curtains aside and have a look into what Mel's talking about here, or we're both talking about here also, when you take a look at all the moving parts and really just see what's there, you get to see a community of like-minded people. You get to see a mentorship program that is absolutely beyond amazing in terms of the content and the value. You get to see support. And for most people who haven't had much support in their lives, that could be just the thing that they so desire. When you peer inside this Facebook group, you get to see people ignited. And when you see that, you've got to ask yourself, do you want something like that? Do you want to be a part of that? Do you want a piece of that? Because that's right there. And so investing in yourself first and foremost, to even have that curious, open-minded, open-hearted approach to, I wonder what this is. I wonder what's behind the curtain. Risk-free. Right? Risk-free, just to see what's inside. It's about really just honoring yourself and investing heavily in your value, in why you're here and what you stand for and what your message is and the type of impact that you want to make in this world. And so first and foremost, it comes down to, how much do you really value yourself and your message and your place in this world right here, right now? There are no coincidences. So I'd say heavily invest in yourself, to be curious and open-minded, to look at opportunities that come your way. There's no coincidences.
Absolutely, darling. I love that. And yes, there's something that I just wanted to add to that. It's just that willingness to make that decision to say yes to yourself. Because as we know, your life can change in a moment. It can be that one decision just by saying yes to yourself. So what I'd love to say, and I'm going to wrap this up now, is anyone that's curious to find out more about what we are talking about, to find out more about this mentorship program, to find out how it can support you to get from where you are to where you want to be, reach out to me. And I'm going to add you to this private group, and you can really get a sense of that, you know, that vibration, that energy that's going on in there, and you know, just being a part of that network, that that vibration can really make you magnetic.
Amazing. And if I could just, I love it. I love it. If I could just add, Mel, that we're so looking forward to seeing the people coming into the group, and I understand that you're taking a course in the mentorship program where you'll be supporting people to really navigate through the strategy and to deepen their understanding. And I can't wait to see what you've got in store for the people, because it's going to be a fabulous topic. You always put on such amazing training, and I love learning from you. I'll also be there. And I just want to say, for those watching the live and also the replay of this, hashtag replay, so that Mel can go back and have a look at the comments and be in touch with you. And, you know, when you're working with Mel, she takes you under her wing, and you're definitely in safe hands. And I've seen you go from strength to strength in this online world, and you're an exceptional leader. And I feel so blessed and privileged to be able to be standing alongside you, Mel, doing something like this and making a difference to people, because it's a real blessing. Thank you. So reach out to Mel. Reach out.
Darling. I'm just going to receive those really beautiful, kind words. Thank you, darling. And I echo it all back to you. You're an incredible woman, an incredible leader. You hold an amazing space for people, and you know, this is how we're now moving forwards in life. This is what this movement is all about: support, guidance, no one being left behind, doing this together, you know, sharing our gifts, talents, skills, and supporting each other in those areas that perhaps we need some more work in and more development in. So that's the true benefit and gift of collaboration.
Beautiful. Well, I look forward to seeing everyone on the inside.
Absolutely. We'll look forward to seeing you all there. So much love to you, Deb. Thank you for your time today, beauty.
Pleasure. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Mel. Bye.
Bye, darling.